Hello, everybody. Welcome to PWO. This is not the WrestleCast. It's the two-man power trip. If you guys weren't aware of it. Too sweet, brother.
Two men.
We're here, guys. If you can't tell from our backdrop we have here, we're here to tell you guys about the New Japan Cup. It's me and Ryan Alvarez. We're here to give you guys as much information as we can. We know we're a little late. Some matches have already happened. So we'll go through what we've already missed and what we kind of expect for the future.
Yeah. It's been a very exciting card thus far. Very opposite of what New Japan has been outside of Wrestle Kingdom this year, which has been a little bit underwhelming, a little bit away from their normal culture of the way they do things. And understandably, they've gone through a management change. So some changes are to be expected, but this is definitely a return to form, I think.
Definitely. So real quick, I'm going to list and tell you guys everyone who is in the tournament. Then we'll tell you guys some of the matches that have already happened. But we have Evil and Hiroshi Tanahashi both had a bye for the first round, which I thought was interesting. We don't typically see that.
Yeah. The reason for that being, though, Evil was last year's winner, obviously, with his now infamous heel turn. Now I'm being evil.
I'm about to say your face.
And then Hiroshi Tanahashi being the reigning never openweight heavyweight champion. So
also we have Kojima versus Jeff Cobb, Tetsuya Naito versus Great-O-Khan, Toru Yano versus Bad Luck Fale, Hiroki Goto versus Taichi, Kazuchika Okada versus Shingo Takagi, Hanma versus Minoru Suzuki, Juice Robinson versus Kenta, Tenzan versus Will Osprey, Gabriel Kidd getting some love in tournament versus Zack Saber Jr., Yuji Nagata versus Yota Tsuji, Ishii versus Sonata, David Finley versus Chase Owens, Yoshihashi versus Yujiro Takahashi, Toa Hanare versus Jay White, and of course, I don't think you can see, I think we're kind of covering it up, but Hiroshi Tanahashi covered up at the bottom here.
Yeah, very surprising not to see GOD in this.
It's almost like we're expecting them to be somewhere else during this time period.
Yeah. Maybe they're trying to start a revolution. Maybe.
I'm hoping so. We are recording this on Revolution, so we're going to find out in about an hour.
Yeah, we are hours away. But yeah, Bullet Club's got some good love in here. Loves Ingrid Novas de Japón has got some good love in here as well. Chaos has got some love in here. So yeah, nice little blend of everyone you want to see right now. And I love it.
So Ryan, we're about 4 days into the tournament officially?
Just about, yeah.
5th, 6th, and of course this morning.
Yeah, we're almost done with the we're done with a good majority of the first round matches.
You want to go ahead and give us the recap here of what's already happened?
Yeah, so we have the Empire finally striking here. We get Jeff Cobb over Kojima, and then and this was by referee stoppage. Great-O-Khan finally gets a win, and it's a huge upset against Tetsuya Naito. Nobody saw that coming. Very, very big statement, though. That's one you need to go check out. Toru Yano gets the win over Bad Luck Fale via countout. Nobody more dangerous than Tournament Yano.
Yeah, he's always due for at least one or two sneaky wins, it feels like.
Yeah. The first one that comes to mind is when Mox was in his run in New Japan, and he was paired with Red Shoes, and he tied them together and got the win.
Yep.
That one always will stick out in my mind, as Mox got tied up to lose.
I think that was his first official loss in New Japan, I believe, as well.
It was.
So Tournament Yano,
crazy. And then a couple of barn burners here. We get Hiroki Goto going over Tai Chi, an excellent match.
I mean, shocker, it's Hiroki Goto. Longtime viewers know my opinions on this already. Kind of surprised Tai Chi losing in the first round there.
Yeah, this might be Goto's push finally. Maybe we're going to get a big push.
I really wish you were right, but unfortunately, I think he's meeting Buzzsaw up next.
The Buzzsaw up next is probably, in my opinion, the best New Japan match outside of Wrestle Kingdom, and that is Shingo Takagi going over Kazuchika Okada.
Yeah, that's a big shocker to me. Now, we've learned since this match has happened that Kazuchika Okada does have his 2 slipped discs in his spine, and he's still working, which is incredible already. But it makes sense, actually, that he was going to lose here. I wonder how long we've known he's been injured, though, because he cut a promo at the last Castle Attack.
Okay.
At first night of Castle Attack, said, you know what, it's time to get back his world title.
That's right.
So I'm wondering when we found out how long he's been working injured.
Maybe his world title isn't in New Japan.
It's possible. Maybe he's a Hall of Fame worthy guy.
Yeah, there's been a lot of rumors that have run rampant over his first round loss. I know we're expecting 2 new debuts tonight on AEW Revolution. There's been the talk as of late about HBK praising Okada, Triple H going out of his way to try and court Kazuchika Okada, trying to get him to WWE now for a bit. So
it was my 2021 prediction that Kazuchika Okada will be in NXT. So we'll see.
If he's in NXT, that's a slap in the face. But I could totally see that because they've done it with Nakamura. They didn't do it with AJ because he already had American Eyes on him.
Yeah.
Anyway, continuing on here, we do get Minoru Suzuki going over Hanma, Kenta going over Juice Robinson, and if I'm not mistaken, that is the left half of the bracket.
Yeah, that's the entire left half of the bracket already done.
We'll get to
the right half.
Yeah, we'll get to the second round matches here in just a sec. But we do get Will Osprey, another win for the Empire. So the Empire goes 3-0
in their first round.
In the first round, going over Tenzan, and then Zack Saber Jr. going over Gabriel Kidd. Very surprising, strong match. Gabriel Kidd has a bright future.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who were able to turn in for WCPW when and then became Defiant, Gabriel Kidd, you kind of got to see a little bit of him becoming a star there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very excited to get really signed with New Japan. I think that's a great spot for him.
This is a great ground for him to put in the work and gain valuable experience, especially against guys I know there's a lot of hate for Zack Saber Jr., but bar none, he's one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. When you're constantly being put in matches against guys like him and higher card guys, you're going to gain some experience, and that's exactly what he needs. And I hope we see more of it. Yeah,
I'm excited for Gabriel Kidd. I think he's a bright future. But those are the only matches we've seen so far on the right side of the bracket. We're going to see more of them on the 9th of March here coming up here. But we're going to go ahead and start a speculation to close out the first round to the right side. Sound good?
Yeah, let's roll.
So I'm expecting Yuji Nagata to go over Yota Tsuji here.
I hope so. I am a huge Nagata mark back to his WCW days. WCW versus the World, that's who I picked up.
I imagine Yota Tsuji keeps getting put into spots like these, but he's still relatively new. Mm-hmm. I think it's not just time yet. It wouldn't surprise me to a degree, maybe if there's some shenanigans, but we don't typically see that in New Japan.
Yeah, but with their new kind of, I wouldn't say philosophy, but due to some recent booking decisions, it's very possible.
And then Ishii versus Sonata. God, this is brutal. And I'm going to go ahead and apologize right now to Jeff Hitman Hall here, but I think Sonata's losing this match.
I agree. Ishii is one of those tournament guys that has a strong showing every single time, especially in, not only the New Japan Cup, but you go look at his G1. He's a constant high point getter. So I agree. He is going to score the upset here.
Yeah, plus Sonata just coming off of his opportunity at the combined undisputed title and Intercontinental title.
Ugh.
I think unfortunately Sonata can afford to eat the loss here. Hopefully we're gonna correct that soon. I hope.
Yes.
And then further down, David Finley versus Chase Owens. Chase is on the case. Dave Finley is, I'm sure, going to be back in Impact here very soon. So I don't know how long he can stay in New Japan.
Correct. And we also don't know to a degree how much Impact they have taped.
From my understanding, it's only up through Sacrifice.
All right, so Sacrifice is through next week. So he could win this, and then he could be back in Japan. But we also don't know how long they're going to be in Impact for. Chase Owens is a safe bet here.
I agree. On top of that, I'm pretty confident actually that Yoshihashi is going to beat Yujiro here. I think you're going to give Yujiro a little bit of a rub here of having him beat two Bullet Club guys back to back.
Yeah, that would be very, very big. And then you're looking at him in the Elite Eight there.
Well, it's gonna close up here because I don't think he's gonna get past the third Bullet Club guy he's gonna have to compete with. Jay White is being Toa Hanare.
Oh yeah.
Life, liberty, taxes. Jay White's beating Toa Hanare. I really like Toa Hanare, but it's just not his time.
Yeah, Jay White's 2021 has been incredible. I know he gets a lot of crap here on the show, but his promo work this year has been the best. Has been in New Japan.
I really feel like he is on the bubble in that, like, the second, I don't know, it feels like just 2 or 3 more things just click, he's taking over, and I think we're on the verge of that.
And we'll get to the predictions here in a little bit, but I think the time is now.
It's possible. It's possible here. And then Jay White will then face Tanahashi in the next round. We want to switch over to left side. Go over what we think our semis are going to be here.
Yeah. So we have Evil versus Jeff Cobb. I really want them to push the Empire. I think this is Bullet Club's time right here. I think it's going to be Evil. Evil with some dick to go shenanigans.
I'm a little surprised that we're going to disagree this early. I have Jeff Cobb. I think Jeff Cobb is going to lose at the 316. But
you know what? I'm fine. I will concede that. I am very much so on the bubble about this because Jeff Cobb has been nothing but dominant since he's signed.
You know what, though?
Yeah.
I'm retracting my statement. I'm retracting my statement. I'm looking further down this tournament. It makes too much sense to have Evil here in the Final Four.
Yeah, Evil with some form of shenanigans. I think he'll win here.
With Naito gone, I don't imagine them putting Toru Yano in the finals there.
Exactly.
So it has to be Evil. I could see Jeff Cobb, and I'd be very for Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
But it would make too much sense. Hopefully, it's Jeff Cobb. Hopefully.
I am totally fine with either one. I would prefer Jeff Cobb, but I think story. I think you can tell a better story with Evil picking up the win here.
That's very fair. My only thing, we can't have Jeff Cobb versus Great O'Con.
No.
So
exactly.
Whoever wins between Evil and Jeff Cobb will tell you who's going to win between Toru Yano and Great O'Con.
Yeah.
I feel like Yano versus Jeff Cobb makes a lot of sense.
It does.
And maybe it's going to be Yano versus Evil. I think that's also possible. Yano in a Final Four, though, is the
tournament Yano. Yano is he is the Florida Gulf Coast of this, and he might steal a win. I mean, sneaky Yano. All right. Sneaky Yano.
Ultimately, who do you have coming out of the top upper left bracket here?
The top part, I am going to say Evil. It makes too much sense.
I think it's fair.
Yeah, he's already at the top of the card. You've got some recognition there. and the story that you can tell with the bottom half of the brackets, I'm ready to get to it.
Yeah, let's go ahead because we got Goto versus Shingo. And guys, my heart, I'm real torn here. Long time listeners know that Hiroki Goto has been long deserving of a push. Unfortunately for Goto,
That's okay.
Shingo's going to be too busy winning this whole thing. So Shingo Takagi is going to go over Goto here.
I agree. Shingo, right now I have meeting Evil in the next round. It again makes too much sense.
Yeah. Plus with former LIJ stablemates fighting each other there, I think it's good.
Now, if you want to continue the Bullet Club Civil War and you want to continue that, friction, you could have Kenta, but I think it's a coin flip. You could do it either way.
I think Shingo's going to end up beating Kenta here.
So we both have Kenta going over Minoru Suzuki.
Unfortunately, I do.
Yeah, very, very much so. The Pat Lily's, upset this.
I think Kenta can do a lot more there and can benefit from it.
Mm-hmm.
So ultimately, our final two, I have Evil versus Shingo.
I will go with that because I have soured on Evil since his turn. I really have. I think his in-ring work is suffering because his character is using Bullet Club as a crutch.
Yeah,
and I see Shingo coming out here.
Yes. Shingo. I'm wondering if you and I have the same finals.
Better be Shingo versus Jay White.
Nope.
Anyway, moving to the right side.
We got Will Osprey versus Zack Saber Jr.
I'm gonna go Will Osprey. I think
also going Will Osprey.
I think even with the Empire on the other side of the bracket, I think that Will Osprey doesn't need to win here, but I think a win will solidify his position kind of towards the upper tier of the card.
I kind of disagree with you on that. I think Will Ospreay needs to beat Zack Sabre Jr. Obviously, my hatred for ZSJ is apparent and forever worst wrestler in the world.
Oh boy!
But I think you need to solidify Will Ospreay here as a main eventer, and Zack Sabre Jr. honestly has slid down the card a lot, all the way down to tag team Taichi. I think that is where he is staying.
Yeah, agreed.
At best, never openweight champion.
Yeah, I still think so. We're gonna get Yuji Nagata and Sonata in the next matchup. I'm going Sonata. Ishii. Oh yeah. Oh, did we concede to that?
Oh, I think Ishii.
Yeah. Okay, then we'll go Ishii. So we're gonna get Ishii versus Will Ospreay.
Yeah. And Will Ospreay is gonna win.
I am also going Will Ospreay. This is going to be tournament defining for the Empire, regardless of what happens.
So now into the lower right-hand bracket here, I have Chase Owens versus Yoshihashi. Yoshihashi going over here. New Japan loves Yoshihashi.
Very, very much so. They are throwing him everywhere right now, and it's a little refreshing. I'll be honest. It's very refreshing to see him on TV. So.
And then Jay White versus Tanahashi.
Jay White.
Okay, now here's where I'm going to upset some people.
You're going to upset me.
Yoshihashi is going to beat Jay White.
I will not concede to that.
I think because I don't have Jay White in my finals.
Well, yeah. This is where our PWO bracket will split a little bit. I am firmly sticking with Jay White. I think this is his time. Bullet Club's on a string of losses at the moment, going through New Beginning and even Castle Attack. Just not picking up wins as of late. I think this is where we turn it around. We get a lot of Jay White here. Tournament Jay White is the best Jay White also.
Agreed. I'll agree with that.
We get a lot of great work out of Jay White. And in my part of the bracket, it would be Jay White versus Will Osprey.
See, I think it makes so much more sense to have Will Osprey go over Yoshihashi. We're going to try and cement Yoshihashi as a top-tier guy. We've been trying to do it now for years. I think losing in the finals to Will Osprey will be a good one for him. Which then leads to my final, a rematch of a previous match of the year for the Super Juniors. It's going to be Shingo Takagi versus Will Osprey, with Shingo Takagi going over. Now, I think either man really could, and there's a part of me that thinks Will Osprey should go over. I think it makes more sense to have Will Osprey versus Kota Ibushi.
Yeah.
I just feel like this is such a great way to push a Shingo Takagi Kota Ibushi match. Will Osprey can still come out and challenge Kota Ibushi after this. He doesn't need a reason, really.
Yeah, he doesn't. And if that's your final, I'm also going to say that Shingo gets the win. As you said, this loss for him isn't going to mean much. It's going to make him look really good. I think. And you refer to their Best of Super Juniors match. That's one of the better New Japan matches I've seen. And while I like that final, I like Jay White standing tall at the end. It makes a lot of sense with how they've kind of booked the main event scene the last couple of months, with Jay White leaving, coming back, kind of taking shots at everybody. He's going to beat Ibushi. And he's going to be our next champion.
See, I just feel like it's too soon from their Wrestle Kingdom match. I feel like if it's going to happen, Dominion.
Fair.
So
my only retort for that is the numerous Tetsuya Naito versus Evil matches we got at the end of 2020.
No, and you're very correct in that. I mean, we saw that a bunch. But at the same time, I almost feel like we had a lot of guys who still weren't there for it. So a lot of other wrestlers have returned to New Japan. I think we could definitely spread this out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Fair. Yeah, we could also, if we had an Intercontinental Championship, but that's for another day. But no, I would be fine with Shingo winning. I would be fine with Will Osprey winning, Jay White winning. Even if you had Yoshihashi getting to the finals and losing to Shingo, I think that's a career defining moment for him. There's a lot of things that could happen here. What's one thing you don't want to see?
That was exactly what I was about to ask. I don't, and then I know we've been pounding this one with Tournament Yano. Mm-hmm. I don't want Yano winning this whole thing.
I don't see it happening.
I don't think it could, unless we're going back to old school Yano, who wasn't a comedic wrestler, but the sadistic heel, which I think would be a great time for it, honestly. Mm-hmm. Fair. I think if we get old school Yano, where he is just torturing people, I'm all for it. Dye his hair back red. Let's get crazy again. Agreed. That would be excellent. Toa Hinare beating Jay White in the first round. That I think is not acceptable.
Here's one of the things I don't want to see. I don't want to see Evil versus Jay White in the finals. I think many people. I think many people want this to happen. Want this Bullet Club Civil War to happen, and it can't be forced. And they've kind of backed off of it as of late. But I don't want. First of all, I don't want Evil to get to the finals. I don't. If anything, I kind of want Kenta to come out of that. Let's say I've done this bracket about 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And every time I have a different person winning the whole dang thing, and a whole different reason for somebody to win the whole thing. But Evil needs a refresh. I don't think this is how you do it. Now, if he comes out in his match against Cobb, and just wins, he doesn't need Dick to go. He doesn't need the Bullet Club. I'm totally fine with a little run, but I don't want Bullet Club Civil War forced.
See, now that we start talking about this, I don't want it, but how great of a setup would it be for Evil and Jay White to tear each other apart and tear apart the Bullet Club enough that they need someone to come in and fix it. They need someone to come in and take out the trash. They need a cleaner.
It does make a lot of sense. And depending on what happens tonight at Revolution,
the best case scenario out of an Evil Jay White final.
Yeah.
But I do not want that as well.
I think there's so many other opportunities here with the way the bracket is set up for you to get, like you said, Osprey versus Shingo. There's so many different avenues this could go, but it just has to be done right. And this is a huge moment, I think, for the new era of New Japan. I feel like they've been hit and miss with their main shows as of late.
I agree with that.
I think this needs to be a return to form. Listen, if you haven't seen, come on in. If you haven't seen Shingo Okada yet, you need to. It's probably a 5-star match. Jeff Hitman Hall is here. Any comments on the New Japan Cup, Jeff?
No, not yet. Oh, we'll agree with the Switchblade, but one new era, but
So
there we go. All right.
So Jeff, here's what I just pitched for you here. We're gonna have a rematch of the best of the Super Juniors from a while ago, and the finals will be Shingo Takagi versus Will Osprey.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Hey, I
Yeah.
see the shirt. Someone's ready for Revolution. Guys.
Okay. I think what PWO is saying as a whole is we're predicting Shingo Takagi versus Will Osprey.
Yeah. And I think honestly it's a coin flip on who wins that one.
Yeah. You want to establish the empire?
Will Osprey.
Will Osprey's got to win.
Yeah.
If you're fine with a repeat of the best of the Super Juniors match and have
Flipping.
Shingo go over,
Flipping the winners.
yeah, it's telling itself. So I think there's plenty of storyline and intrigue to go around here.
Definitely. So with that, Codd, you want to hit with the plug?
Gosh, why not? Facebook, we're live Mondays, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Thursdays, live 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check us out on the YouTube. We got a lot of great stuff. Also, we will be starting a Twitch series here soon. We will be doing a pseudo WWE 2K20 GM mode. We're working out the details, but it's going to happen. We're going to draft. If you've seen Woods and Breeze on Up, Up, Down, Down, it's going to be similar, but it's going to be with 2K20. We're going to pick our shows. We're going to draft. We're going to have our pay-per-views. It's going to be great. What is our Twitch channel?
It's just Podcast World Order.
Oh, okay.
Pretty simple. Try to keep it that way.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, if you like the content you're watching and you'd like to support us, please go to Ko-fi.com/PWO123. It's as easy as 123, and for just the price of a cup of coffee a day, you can support great content and you can continue to support us in general. And thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate all the support, guys, but it's about that time. The pre-show for Revolution's about to start, so we have to go. It's about to be clobbering time if you didn't know. So, guys, have a great day. We'll see you guys on Monday when we hit the review.